Welcome to another relaxing video. Today we continue our gentle journey through Greek mythology, exploring the story of creation. We will find answers to questions like: how did the cosmos, the stars, and everything we know come into existence? Who were the first beings to rise from the emptiness? How did the Titans come into being? And the gods as well? Did they live in harmony or not? These are the mysteries we're about to unravel in today's tale. But before we begin, if you enjoy my content, feel free to like, subscribe, share the video, or use the hype feature. Any of that would really help my channel. And now, settle in, get comfortable, and let us drift back to the origin of everything. How did it all begin? How did the earth, the endless sky, the depths of the sea, and every star in the night come to be? These are questions humankind still asks today, thousands of years after the ancient Greeks first pondered them. But Greeks did not seek answers with equations or scientific theories. Instead, they searched through imagination, poetry, and philosophy, building ideas that were less about measurement and more about meaning. They created stories that were reflections not only on the universe, but also on human nature. Stories that gave teachings still valuable today. For the ancient Greeks, before anything existed, there was chaos. Not chaos as in disorder, noise, or confusion, but chaos as a primordial void, an endless gap, a silent space between heaven and earth, before either had formed. It was a nothingness that somehow held the possibility of everything. It was neither light nor dark, neither sky nor soil, not substance, yet not empty. It was sort of a strange paradox, a void full of potential. From this vast peaceful void, creation did not burst forth with intention. There was no architect, no hand shaping clay, no divine command. Instead, the first forms simply emerged. From chaos came the primordial forces, the first shapers of the world, the beings that would eventually give rise to gods, and long after them to mortals. And here lies a fascinating detail. Even though Greek mythology is full of powerful gods ruling the sky, the sea, and the underworld, none of them created the universe. Creation was not ruled or commanded, it simply happened. The universe, in Greek thought, willed itself into existence. It was not made by something. From the silent vastness of chaos, the first presence took shape. Gaia, the earth. To the ancient Greeks, she was not simply soil and stone, but the great mother of everything that would ever exist. Gaia embodied stability, the ground beneath her feet, and endless fertility. She was the eternal nurturer, the source of roots, rivers, mountains, and every living being that would one day walk, swim, or fly across her surface. After Gaia emerged Tartarus, the deep abyss beneath the earth. If Gaia represented warmth, nourishment, and life, Tartarus embodied cold depth, confinement, and dread, a shadowy counterbalance lying far below. Soon after, another primordial force stirred, Nyx, the night. Draped in a cloak of darkness, she brought rest, stillness, and the quiet of dreams. Nyx was not merely nighttime, she was the soothing silence that follows light, the soft hush that lets the world exhale. From her came many powerful beings. Hypnos, the gentle god of sleep. Moros, the force of doom that shapes destiny. Nemesis, retribution and balance. And Himera, the day, who would rise after her to illuminate the world. Night and day, mother and daughter took turns veiling and revealing the earth. And so Greeks imagined the passing of time not as a simple rotation of the heavens, but as an everlasting dance. Nyx wrapping the world in shadow, Himera lifting her mother's dark veil to reveal light once more. From chaos another presence emerged, Eros, not the mischievous winged child we picture today, but an ancient cosmic force. This Eros was the principle of attraction itself, the power that binds elements, draws beings together, and makes creation possible. Eros was the reason Earth could embrace the sky, why seed sought the soil, why life, once formed, continued to multiply. Without Eros, everything would remain apart, scattered and cold. With Eros, the universe became capable of connection, growth, and love. Gaia then gave birth to Uranus, the sky, who stretched above her like a shimmering canopy of stars. Uranus was both her child and her companion, governing Gaia and enclosing all things under his vast celestial body. From the union of earth and sky came the Titans, immense beings whose power echoed through the natural world. Among them was Oceanus, a great river encircling the earth, from which all seas, rivers, and waters were believed to flow. There was Hyperion, the pillar of light, who, together with his children, Helios, the sun, Selene, the moon, and Eos, the dawn, brought the rhythm of day and night, light and darkness, awakening and rest. Each Titan embodied a force of existence, shaping the world not through war or command, but simply through being. From the union of Gaia and Uranus came also powerful children, unlike any that had existed looked upon them not with pride, but with dread and disgust. To him they were abominations, creatures too powerful, too unpredictable, potential rivals to his authority. Fearing their strength, Uranus sought to hide them away. To keep his throne secure, he forced them deep into Gaia's womb, burying them within the earth itself. Gaia, their mother, felt every moment of their imprisonment, as though her own body were being torn apart from within. Gaia, the mother of all creation, endured unbearable pain as her children were trapped inside her. She pleaded for mercy, but Uranus remained cold, unmoved, determined to keep his dominion intact. The Titans watched helplessly. They shared their mother's agony, yet they trembled at the thought of confronting their father. But Uranus's actions violated the nature of existence itself. In Greek thought, nothing remains forever at the top. Each creation gives rise to new forces that eventually replace the old. It is the eternal rhythm of birth, decline, death, and renewal. By trying to hold this cycle, Uranus only made its completion more certain. His reign would not merely fade, it would be ripped away. Gaia, wounded yet unbroken, began to plot the downfall of her tyrannical husband. Among the Titans, one stood apart for his boldness and cunning. Cronus, the Titan of time. Time never stops. It devours the old, makes way for the new. So Cronus understood better than anyone what must be done. He listened to Gaia's pleas and agreed to carry out her plan. Gaia forged a sickle of adamantine metal, unbreakable and sharp enough to sever even the bonds of creation. She placed the weapon in Cronus' hands. He waited, hidden in darkness, until Uranus descended to lie with Gaia once more. Then, with a swift motion, Cronus struck. He severed Uranus, cutting away his genitals and casting them aside. From the drops of Uranus' blood sprang fierce beings, the Furies, relentless spirits of vengeance, the giants, wild and formidable, and the nymphs, spirits of nature and growth. Then, from the flesh cast into the foaming sea, something unexpected happened. A new goddess emerged from the white waves, Aphrodite, radiant, graceful, irresistible, born from violence, yet embodying desire, beauty, and life itself. She revealed the paradox at the heart of Greek mythology. Out of destruction may come creation, and out of bloodshed, love. And so the reign of Uranus came to its end. He vanished from power, and the world moved to its next chapter, as creation always does. Cronus seized his father's throne without hesitation, becoming ruler of the cosmos. But a rule born from blood and betrayal carries a shadow with it. The Greeks understood this lesson well. Power gained through violence breeds fear, and fear breeds more violence. Cronus' reign, despite its promising beginning, soon revealed itself as no different from that of his father. Instead of ushering in a new age of freedom, he ruled through fear, a constant dread that one day his own children would rise against him. This fear was not mere paranoia, it was a prophecy spoken by Gaia herself. And prophecies in Greek myth are not guesses. They are certainties, waiting for their moment. Cronus took Rhea, his sister, as his queen. Rhea, Titaness of strength, grace, and motherhood, bore him child after child, each one powerful enough to fulfill the prophecy. And with every birth, Cronus did not feel pride or love, only terror. Possessed by this terror, Cronus devised a horrifying solution. Instead of allowing his children to live and grow, he swallowed each one whole the moment they were born. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, one by one, they vanished into the endless darkness of their father's belly. Yet they were not dead. They remained alive, imprisoned within him, unable to grow or take their destined place in the cosmos. Cronus believed he had defeated fate. By devouring his offspring, he thought he could stop time itself, as though he could freeze the future and deny the wheel of destiny from turning. But time, ironically, was his own nature, and time cannot be stopped. Rhea, helpless, could do nothing but watch this ritual of cruelty repeat again and again. Yet, just as Uranus had sealed his own downfall, Cronus' desperate struggle against fate only made his doom more certain. When Rhea became pregnant with her sixth child, she refused to surrender another newborn to darkness. Desperate to save him, she turned to Gaia, who had once suffered at the hands of her own mate. Gaia understood betrayal, and she knew the patterns of destiny. Together they devised a plan to break the cycle and bring about the next age. The prophecy would not be prevented, it would be fulfilled. When her time came, Rhea escaped to the island of Crete. There, hidden within a sacred cave, she gave birth in secret to a child destined for greatness, Zeus. But that was only the first step. Rhea then wrapped a large stone in swaddling cloth and presented it to Cronus, as though it were her newborn son. Obsessed with preventing fate, Cronus swallowed the stone without hesitation, too eager, too fearful to notice the deception. Meanwhile, in the hidden cave, baby Zeus was raised far from his father's hunger and fear. The divine nymphs nurtured him with nectar, and the goat Amalthea fed him rich milk. To conceal his cries from Cronus, the curettes warriors clad in bronze armor formed a circle around the cave. As they danced, they clashed their spears and shields together in thunderous rhythm, masking Zeus's voice beneath a storm of metal. Thus, the future king of the gods grew safely in secret, protected by earth, by nature, and by destiny itself. Zeus grew healthy and strong until the day came when he was ready to challenge the tyranny of his father. With the help of wise Mythos, an oceanic nymph renowned for her cunning, Zeus prepared a powerful potion and tricked Cronus into drinking it. The effect was immediate. Cronus convulsed, and from the depths of his stomach he vomited his swallowed children, one after another. Though they had been consumed as infants, they emerged now as fully formed gods, each powerful, enraged, and eager to take revenge. Zeus then descended into the depths of Gaia and liberated the Cyclopes and the Hecatoncheires, whom Uranus had imprisoned long ago. Cronus had never freed them after overthrowing his father, a tactical mistake, as the Cyclopes and the 100-handed giants gladly joined Zeus, eager to repay ancient cruelties. Grateful for their freedom, the Cyclopes forged mighty weapons for the young gods, thunderbolts for Zeus, crackling with lightning, a trident for Poseidon, powerful enough to shake the seas, and for Hades a helmet of darkness, granting him invisibility. Meanwhile, the Hecatoncheires prepared for war, hurling colossal stones and mountains with their 100 arms. And so began the Titanomachy, the great war of the Titans. On one side stood Cronus and most of the Titans, representing the rigid ancient order of the cosmos. On the other stood Zeus and his siblings, young, ambitious, and possibly far more stylish than the previous generation. Not all Titans sided with Cronus though. Prometheus and Epimetheus stood with Zeus, but their brother Atlas chose to fight for the old order. The war raged fiercely for 10 long years. The Titans, massive and powerful, should have dominated the conflict, yet they lacked unity, weighed down by pride and old grudges. The younger gods fought with cunning, cooperation, and an unquenchable thirst to claim the freedom stolen from them before birth. With the help of their freed allies, Zeus and the Olympians finally prevailed. Cronus and the defeated Titans were cast down into Tartarus. The Hecatoncheires now stood as their guards, a fitting twist of fate. Atlas, who had chosen to stand with Cronus, received a special punishment. He was condemned to hold up the sky for all eternity, bearing the heavens upon his shoulders, as a reminder that even the Titans were forced to bow before the gods. And so a new age dawned. Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, Hestia, Demeter, and Hera became the first Olympian gods and established their dominion over existence. Zeus became king of the heavens, wielder of thunder, ruler of gods and mortals. Poseidon claimed the vast seas, commanding storms the waves. Hades took the underworld, not as a tormentor, but as its guardian, the keeper of the dead. Hera became queen beside Zeus, goddess of marriage and women. Their marriage would be legendary, not for harmony, but for its epic quarrels, a whole saga of its own. Demeter governed harvest and fertility, ensuring Earth's bounty fed gods and mortals alike. Hestia tended the sacred hearth, symbol of family, home, and community. And so the world took on a new shape under the rule of the Olympians. But victory did not end rivalry, envy, or betrayal. The same cycles of conflict would continue, only with new characters, new passions, and new lessons to learn. Such was the Greek view of existence, an endless cycle repeating itself over and over. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the tale of creation. Please consider supporting my channel by liking, subscribing, sharing the video, or using the hype feature. I'd like to thank all my supporters on Ko-fi and channel members too. And if you want to support me as well, you will find all the useful links and information in the description. And until next time, take care and stay relaxed. Bye bye.